other building and put up the other building. That's why it's there. There used to be a warehouse on this side before they put up the Robert C. Byrd intermodal, whatever it's called. I thought it was a parking garage, but it's intermodal. So that's a government word for, you can get more for putting up an intermodal than you can put up a parking garage. Okay? But, I don't know, do you remember when they tore that thing down? The destruction company was going to be fined because they couldn't get it down in time, and their argument was, it was built too well. Okay. But again, you have to use all this. What's that mean? Every bit of space in Wheeling is gone by beginning of the 20th century. There's no place to move. You have to find these little spaces in there. Okay. Main Street Bridge. A couple of things here to look at. Look at the hillside. Huh? Suicide, yeah. But what's not on there? There's not a tree. 1907, we had a 2-inch rainfall in Wheeling that caused the flood. And the local paper, I happened to run into the editorial about what Wheeling has to do in putting the trees back on the hill to prevent that. Why is this significant? When this was put up, this is a stone span. May not look very impressive to you, but in 1892, this is the longest continuous stone single arched bridge in the United States. And it was put up by a company from I forgot where they came out of New York maybe, but a lot of it, there's another view of it. And there you can see that they're putting it in. And they're probably putting in maybe the keystone here to hold it up. The way these stone bridges are put up, you have to have a superstructure made out of wood to hold it up until you have all the stones in place. And if you look at this, this says December, this is almost an anniversary, this is December 17th, 1891. That's a great date, December the 17th. Now you may not know why that's an important date, but I can tell you why that's an important date. No, that's our wedding day. And I've already purchased a gift. 1891? Not 1891. Almost. Almost. No, it'll be 44 years. You notice this looks like the picture is not clear. You know why? That's the smoke. I see those youngins who don't remember not being able to see Pittsburgh because of all the smoke, or Weirton. One of my earliest memories of driving is the time I was coming up Route 2 through Weirton. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had to turn my lights on so that I could. So after I turned my lights on, I decided to turn the radio because we were stopped. Well, I wasn't quite stopped. But after I hit the car in front of me, I stopped. Yeah. And just to show you that this is 1962, and bent a little extension of the bumper, and that's all we had to replace. And the part was $5. $5. And my dad said, "How'd that happen?" Physically radio. Long before texting, there was radio for high school kids. Okay. Artisan Center. So things change. And we start to put in different buildings. And I think there were maybe 3 different buildings here. These are called the list buildings. I think G Electric may have been. Anybody, is that right? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, G Electric, G-E-E, or G. We went to school with it, Jerry G. But my understanding is that he could garage door went up, his car could come in, and then the car would go up to the elevator on the 2nd floor.
Third.
When you sold him the truck, you had to cut the truck down so it fit on the engine.
I don't know if that's lazy or that's just what. Now, back a few years, we decided we're going to turn this thing into an artisan center. Okay? Now, let me remind you this. This comes from whose money?
National Park Service.
National Park Service. So the American taxpayer paid for this in Wheeling. Just in Wheeling. Do you know how much they put into this building? Did I guess?
$5 million, I think.
Over $5 million. For what? Well, the building had to be gutted inside. It had to be redone. Now, what does this reveal about Wheeling? Well, what did we have in there originally? We had a microbrewery, which now
It's gone.
gone. It used to have a restaurant that had a lot of people in it.
Still has a restaurant.
Still has a restaurant. Okay? And has an artisan center upstairs. What this suggests is that spending that kind of money in reconstructing buildings is historically very nice and hopefully has some economic impact, but it doesn't guarantee it. And this isn't the only one. I don't have this one. But go down a couple more blocks on Main Street, cross the creek, and about 21st Street, you're going to run into the Catholic Heritage Center. Okay? Very nice building. It used to be the Aryan Hall. That's where one of the singing societies had it. And the upper part of it, still there. It's been redone and it's gorgeous. And it has the archives for the diocese. And then on the first floor, they have businesses. Oh, no, they don't. They used to have businesses. And on the 2nd floor, they used to have a bit. No, they don't have those anymore either. They're empty. I think they're all empty. The diocese spent on that building about $3.5 million. So right now, we're looking at $9 million of buildings in downtown Wheeling that have been redone, putting them back into wonderful shape, but people aren't using them. And we were going to put in a Victorian mall. Now, if you have a chance, what I would say, and I did this too with a couple classes, we would do tours of churches. And I never got to St. Al's here. But there's a word missing from that used to be on there over a century ago. German. This was put up because you have a German group of people in that part of Wheeling, center Wheeling. Okay? But this church is unique from the perspective of, it doesn't really follow any particular architectural design. We can't say that it's rich and Roman.